Welcome to One Question at a Time, the SAT series. Question number 35. If x squared minus x minus 6 over x squared minus 4 plus 3 equal 4 over 3, find x. So for those type of questions, we see that the higher degree is the quadratic, which is 2 right there. We should try to find if we can simplify the left hand side before we working on this problem. And we have something to review, which is we have a over b, that the fractions equals c over d. Then we can do a is imply a multiplied by d, that equal b multiplied by c. Okay, and also we will use the AC method. You can check this out when you go to the playlist of EasyPy and click on week, I think week 2. Yeah, week 2, which is the second part. We're talking about the AC method and all the method to solve for the quadratic equation. And the AC methods, for summary, is like when you have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. That is the standard equation. We have to somehow convert all the equation into this form before we start doing the AC method. And AC method means A times C, right? That is A times C. So we have A times C that equal to two numbers. I just call this one as number 1. And then you multiply, right? Another numbers I call is number sub 2. Then the same numbers, right? You will add them up and it equal B. Okay? Alright, now let's see if we can use the AC method to simplify this one. So we have x squared minus x minus 6. If you can guess, yeah, you can, right? That equal x minus 3 times x plus 2. But if we don't know, how can we do that? Remember, we looking for the form of 1 minus 1 minus 6, that our ABC. Okay? Alright. So, we can have A times C or C times A, the same thing, that equal 1 times negative 6. A times C, A is 1, C is negative 6, that equal negative 6. And we have to find two numbers that multiply is negative 6. Okay, so B is equal negative 1. That equal the same number but add up. Okay, so A times C in form of two number multiplied together and make it negative mean you have one of the numbers, like the number 1 maybe will be negative, or the number 2 will be negative. If number 1 is negative numbers, then number 2 will be positive and versus. Okay, so I can guess about negative 6 times 1 or negative 1 times 6, right? Or I can guess, but when you add them up, negative 6 add 1 only negative 5. You cannot have that, right? So we use another option. We'll have like 2 and 3. But one of them has to be negative. If you plug in 2 and 3 here, which position is negative 2 or negative 3 at 2 or negative 2 at 3 make the negative 1? Only when you have the negative 3, the bigger numbers. So when you see the negative, mean the bigger number have to be the negative. Okay. When you see the negative here, mean one of the numbers will be negative. Okay. So that is negative right there. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, and 2 at negative 3 is negative 1. So we have number 1 is a 2. That is one of our solutions. So how we write that down? We write that down at x squared minus x minus 6 over x squared minus 4x plus 3, that equal to, open parenthesis, x multiplied by x, and then we add 2, we minus 3. That is the number we find out right here, 2 and negative 3. Okay, we do the same for the x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, a times c. What is the two numbers multiplied together? A is 1, c is 3, so that equals 3. Now b is negative 4. So two numbers, you add them, make it negative 4. So if it's negative, mean what? When you're adding, it should be same side. For this one, since positive 3, either positive and multiply by positive number, or negative number multiplied by negative numbers. But the thing is, the second one, you sum up two negative numbers. What does that mean? It means this choice is the correct one. Okay, so you will have about 3, negative 3, and negative 1. Negative 3 and negative 1. So negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. Negative 3 add negative 1 is negative 4. Okay, so that matching, we just kind of like copy that down here. We have x here, and we have right here is minus 1, right here is minus 3. So see now, top and bottom, we have common factors, we just cross this out. Then this one equal x plus 2 over x minus 1. So from the second degree, right, we reduce it into first one. X mean x to the power of 1. We're talking about that before. So when you reduce that, everything make it like smaller, easier to work with. Now the thing is, this part that equal 4 over 3. So this is 4 over 3, right? So after we convert it, we cancel it, we simplify it, it's about that one. So now our job is just setting a new problem. We have x plus 2 over x minus 1 that equals 4 over 3. And we use the formula we're talking about here. This is our a over our b equals c over d. See that? So this one the same as 3 times x plus 2. We can do 2 plus x plus 2 times 3, but the thing is commute, so we just write out the number in the front. So 4 minus 1, that's easier, right? Okay, now we're working on this. 3 times x, 3x, 3 times 2, positive 6. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 1 is minus 4. Now we subtract 3x both sides. This cancel out. We have x minus 4 equals 6. Then we add 4 both sides. Then we have x equal 10. So to check if this one is correct, we can keep the right hand side. Okay, we keep the right hand side. We already plug in x equal 10 in here, so we'll have 10 squared minus 10 minus 6 over 10 squared minus 40 plus 3. And to see if on the top we can simplify up to 4, and at the bottom we can simplify to 3. So 100 minus 10 is 900 minus 6 is 84. 100 minus 40 is 60, at 3, 63. And if we divide by 21, we have 4 times 21 over 3 times 21. That 21 cancel, and this is correct. So this is correct. That's how we check. We plug back the value that we find into the equations, only checking for is that the left hand side will be equal to the right hand side. If it's not, it means we make some mistake during our progress, so we have to redo it. So let's see why we not go straight forwards. We see this one is like still like the fractions like a here, and then b here, and then c here, d here, right? Why don't we just go straight forward and doing that instead of simplify it? So simplify it first is make it easy since it reduces the degree, right? But if we not, so we have x squared minus x minus 6. We multiply by 3 equal 4 multiplied by x squared minus 4x plus 3. Remember, we multiply like cross multiply, so a times d, right? So like that, x 3 times x squared minus x minus 6, and then another cross is 4 times x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, now we distribute, so we have 3x squared minus 3x minus 18, that equal 4 times x squared, 4x squared, minus 16x plus 12. Okay, now we subtract 3x squared both sides, so that cancel out, right? Then we add 3x both sides, that cancel out. Then we add 18 both sides, that cancel out. So it's left here is 0, that equal x squared, right? 4x squared minus 3x squared, that x squared. Then we minus 13x. Then we add 30. Okay, so until this step, we still have to do the AC method, right? So let's write it somewhere here. We have A equal 1, right here, A equal 1, B equal negative 13, C equal positive 30. See that? So AC method, A times C, that is 30. We need two numbers multiply equal 30. Then we have B that equal the same numbers, but then add them up equal negative 13. Like we said before, if we have the positive numbers, we may have the positive times positive or positive negative times negative. But we have the negative when they add up. They sum up to be a negative numbers, mean you will have two negative. Choose this one more time, right? Okay, so we will have two negative numbers. All right. Now, what is two numbers add up to negative 13? You have 5 and 6 is 30, right? You can have 15 and 2. You can have 3 and 10. So 3 and 10, right? Negative 3 and negative 10 is nice. Perfect, right? So the thing is we will list out all of the thing. For example, like 30 will be 1 and 30. 30 will be 2 and 15. It will be 3 and 10. It will be, can be 4, no, can be 5, yes, 5 and 6. So we list out all of the possible outcome. Then we choose and plug it in to see if they fit all of the condition. So we'll have x, open parenthesis, x minus 3 times x plus 10. I mean minus 10. That equals 0. So x will be equal 3 or x will be equal 10. So we have two solutions, but of course the list 3 doesn't here. So D is the right answer. If we want to check if 3 can be the answer in this problem, we can just plug it in one more time, right? We plug it in, so we have 3 squared minus 3 minus 6 over 3 squared minus 4 times 3, that's 12, plus 3. We want to check if this one equals 4 over 3. So 9 minus 3 minus 6, that equals 0. All over 3 squared is 9. At 3 minus 12 is 0 as well. So probably this one is not the answer, because we have undefined, right? And of course, because like we said, so 3 is not the answers, only x equals 10. Okay, so why? Because we see that at the bottom right here, we have the factor of x minus 3. So the denominator have to be different from 0. So in this case, the restriction value have to be x different from 1. So prevent this part equals 0. And x have to be different from 3 to prevent this one equals 0. So by using the first method, we don't have to worry about making the denominator equal 0 since we already checking and eliminate that part. Make it easier to work with as well. Thank you for participating in this series. See you next time.